Anne, can you tell me what tricky topics are and why would we need them?
So, you know as a teacher, trainer or educator that you failed in your teaching when a student says to you, that was brilliant. I didn't have to think about it and I can forget about it afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, because learning should be transformative. It should change the way we think about ourselves and about the world around us. So tricky topics is a process to help students to overcome their barriers and understanding, because learning is difficult and teaching to overcome learning is difficult.
Yeah.
So this is a step-by-step process to help overcome that. It's underpinned by several theories like threshold concepts and surface and deep learning.
Where and how have people worked with tricky topics?
So it's been used across the UK and across Europe and across Africa. And it's been used in lots of different disciplines, so from science and maths to the arts to policy making to leadership. It's been used at different levels, from primary, secondary, A-level sixth form to higher education, in training sectors such as the police and prison education. You name it, it's gone across those different areas because it gives a step-by-step process. So it starts by sort of supporting in the first stage, helping a teacher, educator or trainer to understand what it is that the student doesn't understand, the learner doesn't understand. Okay. And then it sort of breaks down and supports them in understanding exactly how they're misunderstanding, so into stumbling blocks and problem examples. And then it helps to understand through the problem distiller why they aren't understanding. And that's sometimes hard for a teacher when they become an expert to step into the shoes of a learner. And then it helps them to design interventions. So we've used it with flipped learning, game-based learning, role play, creative video making, a whole raft of things. And it helps to design those effectively. And finally, it helps to assess so that you can see whether a student has really got an understanding of this or are they just memorising and regurgitating what they think you want to know so they can get through an exam.
Okay, so it's almost like a deeper learning.
And it provides that depth of understanding and to be able to assess that as well.
And who have you worked with in using the process?
So, like I said, it's across from all the different levels, from teachers, trainers, educators, but also learning designers and those designing interventions, such as we used it with a games-based training intervention, which has ultimately won awards because of it. And that shows the impact that it's having across different sectors. So, in that games-based training, it helped us to design the game, but also to evaluate if their learning had actually increased the deep understanding, or was it just simply surface and regurgitating. So it's changed the way that teachers teach, and it's also changed the interventions that they use. And it's also actually transformed the way they think about teaching and learning and the learner. And the teachers themselves have said that it was priceless, absolutely priceless.
So what other kind of impacts and improvements have you seen?
So it's changed some systems and processes and policies. We fed into a postgraduate certificate across Africa, which is helping universities across Africa in applying tricky topics and feeding into learning design. And they've designed that so that they can shift the educators, the higher educators, into the right frame of mind of thinking about the learner. You can get very absorbed in the content, which you know, and not think about the students before they become experts in the area and the problems they might have. So it really helps focus on a learner-centred perspective.
That's great. Thank you very much.
That's okay.